pumped are you after that E3 announcement?
Fuck. If you haven't seen the reaction, I gave you guys my word. I did that on multiple podcasts, multiple review shows that I would react to it live for you, and I did. And fucking A, was it nuts. Oh my god. Like, you would think the fact that we got two small trailers before E3 that would have been enough to cool my jets. It wasn't. It wasn't. Like, it physically wasn't. Like, even from the fucking start, I was just they started with Final Fantasy, obviously. Like, it literally was straight into Final Fantasy. They're like, all right, now Square Enix takes the stage. And they slowly raise the red curtains, and you see the Buster Blade, and it's the old school game menu, like where it's just the Buster Blade. It says new game or continue. And everybody's just like, oh my god, Final Fantasy 7! And then all of a sudden, you just see remake appear with a question mark underneath the continue, and then they're all like remake, and then all of a sudden you see the little hand, the cursor go down to remake, and then it clicks it, and then the director comes walking out. I was like, oh my god, I was freaking the fuck out. It was great. My
Oh,
favorite
jeez.
part about the fan shout out shit, because you can hear it in the video because I know you're gonna watch it, but at the very end when they show the first class edition, this guy goes, take my wallet, and I was like, yes, I agree, take my fucking wallet, I don't care how much it is, I am getting it, absolutely. It was great. It was so fucking good. And when Tifa came on screen, I lost my fucking mind. uh, Best part is everything that's in the trailer has been covered in DFU. So if you're worried about spoilers, you can watch the trailer spoiler free. Same thing with you, Kelsey. You can watch trailer spoiler free. It's all shit that happens in Midgar, which we are out of Midgar at this point. So
Oh
we
man.
are good. We are good.
Was it epic? The
It
trailer
was
that they showed, was it epic?
it was good. There's a lot of stuff in there that's not actually in the game. That's stuff that we didn't actually go over, which is cool because basically what they said is that they want to give the old school fans the same story, but give you a chance to understand that there was more stuff that they didn't have time to put in the original game. So characters like Jesse,
Oh.
Wedge, and Biggs, who we barely got to know, we're going to get a longer background story about them and be able to know more about them as characters, which is a perfect way to do that. An absolute
So
perfect way to do that. You're not taking anything away, you're just adding. That is a perfect way to do that.
I was gonna say that fits with your old mantra of the internet loves progress and hates change.
Exactly. 100%. They did it right. They did it right.
So it
So,
sounds like you may be able to actually have the exact same gaming experience if you want to, but if you want more, you can go and find more.
correct. Correct. Because it literally
Genius.
just starts
Good
out with like
job.
Cloud on a bike and Jesse sitting behind him, and I'm like, well, this didn't fucking happen in the game. What the hell's going on here?
I like how one screenshot and you're like, that wasn't fucking with the game. Fuck.
I'm pretty sure I said that
Fuck.
in the video too. I was just like, well, this didn't happen in the first one. It wasn't like negative
Oh
though.
my
I was
god.
just kind of like trying to see what was going on, but I was definitely a little worried because there's another scene that we saw in the trailer that came out before E3 because they gave us two 1 minute trailers where Aerith grabs Cloud's hand and she's like, "Oh my god, help me!" And then like the moment she grabs his hand, he's able to see like there's these ghosts that are just circling around both of them, and I was like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?" Like, this never happened. What is this? Like, because there is some books out there that were only released in Japan that actually go deeper into like Eris's overall connection to the live stream and stuff like that the game did not have time to do. And I thought maybe that's it, but at the same time, you do fight these ghosts in the train yard, which is directly after that scene. So maybe
Hmm.
I'm thinking that might be what it is, and they're just kind of like playing it up a little bit more. So, but I'm excited either way to kind of see what happens. And one of the biggest worries that I had was in the end of the first trailer, we saw Sephiroth, and the whole trailer was in Midgar, and they said that there's a good chance the entire first game might just take place in Midgar because it's coming out in two parts. So we officially got told that two parts. That's how much they're
Okay.
planning on expanding the Midgard section to give you more story about Tifa and Marlene and Jesse and Biggs and Wedge and their whole life in the slums and stuff like that. Because Midgard's a huge place. I mean, it's fucking gigantic, and we only got to explore like sectors 6 and 7 and possibly a little bit of 5. Like there's a
Hmm.
lot of Midgard we did not get to explore, which
Yeah.
I was really hoping they would do 3 games, 3 installments, just to pay homage to the original, which came out 3 discs. But hey, whatever. I'll
Yeah.
take what I can get. But because a lot of people had speculated they were going to try to do it like Final Fantasy 13. Final Fantasy 13 was on 3 separate discs, and it came out over a span of 18 months. I was like, I can do that. That would be fucking phenomenal. Like that to me is okay. To where people were like, we're gonna get 3 games. It's gonna be like 2 years apart, and I was like, fuck, that would suck so bad. I would be playing that first part for so fucking long. Oh my
You'd be
god,
so mad. That
I
would be
would.
amazing.
Well, the
Oh
worst
my
part is
god.
there's no way they'd keep it on the same system. So it's like the fucking first one comes out on the PlayStation 4, the second version comes out on the PlayStation 2, and then the last one comes out, or
Yep.
PlayStation 5, and the last one comes out on PlayStation 6. I'd be like, God damn it. I'd be so mad. But like I said, so back to the Sephiroth thing, I was really worried about them actually adding Sephiroth in a Cloud confrontation in Midgar, which never happened. Sephiroth was in Midgar when Cloud was in Midgar. We saw his sword in President Shinra's body.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's visions that Cloud's having, kind of like the Nibelheim vision. We
Oh,
see that at the
okay.
end of this trailer, where he sees Sephiroth, and like Sephiroth starts talking to him. He's like, "You bastard!" and he goes to slam his sword down, and it just disappears. Everything just disappears, and you just hear Sephiroth's voice go, "Hold on to that hate, Cloud," and then it ends. So I was like, "Yes, thank you. Yes, they're keeping the story pretty close to the fucking save. Let's go." So
Oh
I'm
man.
hyped. I'm hyped. The reaction
I
video was good. If you want to see me lose my mind and my face literally melt the fuck off, especially when Tifa came on screen, I'm pretty sure my neighbors freaked the fuck out. I yelled so loud. I'm surprised that the audio was as clear as it was, because I thought I heard myself pop as I did it. So yeah, it was pretty impressive. So if you want to see that, it is out on the channel now. It's the only reaction video we have up. It should not be hard to find. So go check it out.
and Chris's face on there making just like
Yes.
if ecstasy could have a face, that would be it. I
Yes,
think.
that is true.
Now, real fast, before we jump into the story, I do have a question.
Yes.
When they originally told us they may release it serially, and everybody lost their shit because they didn't know what that meant and what they meant by it. So, since they're only putting it out in 2 games, are they going to put them out pretty close together? Are they releasing them just in 2 discs at the same time? How are they doing this?
So they say 2 Blu-ray disc. I don't know exactly what the fuck that means. Um,
Oh,
because
as in like whether there's time in between the two of them kind of thing?
correct. Because I would be.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a long time since we've gotten like any information about it. So I would be extremely surprised if. I mean, it says right
Like
here the
3 days?
deluxe. Well, it says right here in the deluxe edition package includes game on 2 discs. So maybe it's just the first part on 2 disc, which means that the second part would be on 1 disc, which would still be 3 discs, which would be pretty cool. It's I don't think that we're going to get the entire game right now. I don't think that's going to happen.
Mm.
They've been pretty open about that, but they also said it's going to come on 2 discs. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is the entire game. I doubt it. I doubt it, because I feel like we would have saw more than just them in Midgar if this is the whole game. Like, we didn't see Red 13, we didn't see Kate Sith,
Probably.
we didn't see Vincent, we didn't see Yuffie. We literally saw just the main cast. I feel like we would have saw some crazy ass shit. I mean, we didn't even see summons happen. I feel like they would have showcased that, if like it was the entire game. We literally didn't see a single summon happen in this trailer. So we did get to see materia used, and they do a whole segment where they break down on how the actual game mechanics work for battle, which I'm not against anymore. I had a lot of talks with a lot of people back whenever I was streaming, and I had some couple talks with people on YouTube as well about the differences between the old one and the new one, because a lot of people were worried about the new age fighting. I think that they found a way to kind of give you a little bit of that back, which is it's got new age fighting, but whenever your meter fills up, you can pop it, and it's I can't remember what they called it, but it's something mode where everything freezes basically. Like, everything's frozen, and you can use the command menu to choose what you want to do with Cloud, whether you want to bust a limit breaker or summon materia or use materia, and that kind of gives
Mm-hmm.
you that turn-based feel where it's like, this is Cloud's turn to pop a move type deal. So it kind of
Okay.
gives me
Which
that
is
turn-based move, which is what the original was. It was turn-based. So you
okay, yeah.
fought, then they fought, then you fought, then they fought, then you fought, then they fought. So, but it's only when your meter's up. Everything else is just constant hack and slash. You're just fucking constantly fighting.
So they did update the game mechanics
Yes,
to a more
big time.
modern style of gaming,
Big time.
which I don't think the original consoles that these were on, I don't think those could handle
Well, it's not
that
even
much going
handle.
on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they wouldn't be able to handle that many frames per second, absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
not even just so much as an aspect of handling, because I mean that came on the original PlayStation, like not even PlayStation 2, original PlayStation. It's more along the lines of we are in a new generation of gaming. That's just all there is to that.
Yeah.
This
that's
generation of gamers isn't going to want some crazy steroid fucking HD game
Yeah.
where you have to take turns to fight. They're not. They're just not. And this is the best way, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure Square Enix is probably somewhere on the same track mind as me, where it's like, this is a great way to get a new generation back into Final Fantasy. This is the one that put us on the map. This is the one that made us a RPG and not a JRPG. This is our chance to do this again with that generation. Because as I said in my last review show when I talked about this, I'm pretty sure kids these days, they see, oh, Final Fantasy 16's coming out. Well, I never played the first fucking 15, so why would I care? This is a way for them to get this hype up, make it a big deal, then play 7, be like, wow, this game was actually really fucking good. I wonder what the next ones are like. And shout out to Tony, if you're watching this. I know I already told you in text message. I know you're excited about it, but they finally broke news that they have actually been working this entire time to remaster Final Fantasy VIII. So he's finally getting a remaster. They've ported all the Final Fantasy games 1 through fucking 12 4 times and have left 8 out every single time. And like I said, it's because there was so much of the original game was lost. The files were lost because of how big of a project it was, because they released 7 and they didn't want to lose that hype because everybody lost their mind. So they made 7, Spirits Within, which was that shitty fucking Final Fantasy movie, and 9 all within the same time frame. They spent 2 years, they made all 3 of those together, and they lost the original files to 8. So they said if we wanted to remaster it, we literally had to rebuild the game. So if you love Final Fantasy VIII, you better fucking support that shit, because that's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. You better show them love for them doing that. Because that's not even a remake like mine. Like mine is a complete overall build up from the ground. This is just remastering. This is like an
overhaul.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. So for them to want to actually put in the time and the effort to do this to just one of the fucking games, unlike the other ones where all they had to do was just put like a little fucking scan on it and just re-up the graphics, like they've done every other time with Final Fantasy VII, when they put it to the Xbox, when they put it to the Switch, when they put it to the PlayStation, go show them love and support for that shit, because that was some work. That was some work. Especially while they're building my fucking game from the ground up, that's some fucking work. So y'all best support that. If that's your favorite game, you better show Square Enix some fucking love and buy that fucking thing. Because after this is done, me and Kelsey got some business to talk about. I'm going to show her what Final Fantasy VIII graphics look like now. They look like ass. Do you think mine looks bad? You can't even fucking tell what the fuck you're looking at. And I don't even know how that's possible. Mine looks like polygons. Theirs looks like fucking static. Like, it looks like ass. So they put some fucking work into it. It's true. I'm sorry. It's true. I love you, Tony, but it's true, dude. And the sad part is, I think he's playing it right now. I'm not even lying.
Like, literally at the moment we're recording this. Oh, man.
Oh, man. That's great. But anyways.
All right. Well, we got, like,
way off track
on your reaction to E3.
Oh,
so
that was great.
Just to jump in right where the story was.
Yes.
We were leaving the super high mushroom that was basically Universal, who's Golden Saucer, and we had to go to Mount Coral, which is where Barrett is from.
Yes. Yep. Sephiroth is heading to Gold Saucer. We're going to Mount Coral. Yes, that is correct.
Yes. That one. Those things.
Yes. You got it. You got it.
Jump in.
Boom. All right. So, on our way to Mount Coral, which I will go ahead and start throwing. I actually got an ahead on this one, so I have pictures ready to fucking rock. So that way Kelsey can get back into looking at this shit. Anyways, so technically it's called Mount Coral, but that's because where the reactor is at is in Mount Coral, but his town is actually called North Coral. So here's North Coral, and that's what that looks like. As you can see, it kind of looks like a fucking pigsty. It's fucking disgusting. Anyways.
Might need a couple women in there.
Oh, there's women. Trust me, there's women. There's reasons. So you come running up from where the train tracks are up at the top, and you see Barrett down in between that little spot where those 3 tents are kind of together on the right side. And as you're running, you stop, and then you see these 3 guys are talking to Barrett. And they're all like, what the hell do you think you're doing back here? And Barrett's all like, look, we're just passing through. I don't want any trouble type stuff. And they're all like, this is all your fault. This is your fault our town is like this now. And one of them literally like punches Barrett in the face. He doesn't move. He just stands there. He just takes it. And he's just like, I'm sorry. And they're all like, you know what? He's not even worth our fucking time. Let's go. So they walk away. And then you walk up to Barrett. Barrett's like, I told you. I had some shit. And I don't want to talk about it. So you end up moving on. And as you can kind of see in this picture on the left side there, there's a sign that says Gold Saucer this way. So we go to the Gold Saucer. So you walk up and you get to see the lovely tram station that I showed you that takes the fuck off into the sky. But there it is again, just in case you need to see. But there's the tram station. So you walk up and everybody's kind of like talking to Barrett and they're like, "Hey, you know what happened? What do you want to talk about?" And he's all like, "It's all my fault. It's my fault the town is like this." And so then we finally get some Barrett story. So
Yeah.
we go all the way back to Barrett, a young Barrett, not real young, but still a man, Barrett, not a baby. Anyways, and there's a town hall meeting in one of the houses, and it's Barrett, his friend Dane, which for reasons as of right now I can't show you his picture, but I will at the end of this DFU. Anyways, Barrett, his friend Dane, or Dine is what they call him. It's Dyne, Dine. And then the village master. And then what you notice at the front door is Shinra. A couple Shinra troops and Scarlet. So Barrett's town is a mining town. They're known for coal and shit like that. That's how they've gotten around. That's how they've been around for years. And it's actually a really nice, good-looking town. No, normal houses and shit, not this fucking trash heap that you see here. So they're having an argument, and the only person that is against the argument is Dine. And the argument is that Shinra wants to come in, destroy the mountain, build a Mako reactor where the mountain's supposed to be, farm Mako, and then they'll take care of the village. They won't have to worry about it anymore. Dine doesn't believe Shinra is going to do that and doesn't want to give up their life of coal, because if they can't get coal, they have no other way of supporting the town. Barrett is for the Shinra Tech. The headmaster is for the Shinra, or village head is for the Shinra Tech. Everybody's basically for the Shinra Tech at this point. So he's pretty much outvoted. So they go to do that, and next thing you know, Barrett goes, "It all went to shit." And they're all like, "What do you mean it all went to shit?" And he goes, "I don't want to talk about it anymore." So they get on the tram. So the tram takes off. We go to the Golden Saucer, right? So we're walking around. You get there, and the funny part about the Golden Saucer, and this is actually a joke that was made in the Abridged series that I watched, is that they do the thing where it's like you can't spend real money there. You have to transfer your money into game money in order to spend game money in order to do stuff. Even to save your game, you have to have quote unquote game money. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. But anyways,
Really?
yeah, it sucks. Anyways, once you actually understand how to like really, it's not cheat the system. Once you understand how to do certain games a certain way, you can kind of get it quick. You're really not going to make a lot of. So it's called gold points, I think is what it is, GP. Because you got gil and then gold points or game points. I don't know, one or the other. But Chocobo racing is the easiest way to get money. You're not going to make a lot of money Chocobo racing until you really have a golden Chocobo and you're able to just beat the living fuck out of any race out there. So
I like how you chose to say that, because it implies that it's a violent thing where you've got this boat that's like clawing the face off of your enemies, and I'm pretty a word that's like, "I'm really fast, woo!"
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Beat the living fuck out.
Yeah. So but the best way to make money is so whenever you walk up to the Golden Saucer, there is this big like tunnel. You walk in, and whenever you walk back out, what you'll notice in the background is like this little itty bitty house. And I'll actually see if I can't look for a picture so Kelsey can see what I'm talking about here. But anyways, so there's this little itty bitty house. If you keep going back in, back out, back in, back out, sooner or later you will see a guy standing behind the house wearing overalls. If you walk up to him, now do not, and I repeat, do not sink all your money into this. Do not do this until you actually have a lot of money, because you actually have a lot of reasons to use money early game. Do not throw all your money away. But once again, if you see this guy, perfect. I even found a picture of this fucking guy too. Perfect. Anyways, so if you see this guy, you can transfer your gil into GP. It's 1,000 gil for 100 GP. I think. No, it's 10,000 gil for 100 GP. So 10,000 gil gets you 100 GP. So once again, do not blow all your money on this. You're going to need that money for Chocobo breeding. You're going to need that money for the battle arena, which is also at the Gold Saucer later. And not to mention you need to buy a lifetime pass to the Gold Saucer, which to get in for one day is 3,000 gil, and to get in for a lifetime pass is 30,000 gil. So once again, do not blow all your money on this. I'm trying to save all you players now. Don't do it. Don't do it.
So transferring more than 10,000 gil isn't going to get you anything.
I would not even go close to transferring any hardcore amount. I would literally, I wouldn't even talk to this guy yet. There's no point in talking to this guy at this point in time because you come back to the gold saucer later. The first time you get the gold saucer, there's really no point in fucking with this guy. Just, if you want to see him so you know what I'm talking about, we'll have the picture up and you can visit him, but I wouldn't worry about transferring money to him yet. So, you can see the tram coming out of the mouth of the Mog. All the way back there, very tiny, you see Cloud talking to a guy with overalls behind that house. That's the secret guy. He even says it, hey, how about it? Change your gil into GP. That's the guy. And then the welcome is
Now,
where you go into the golden saucer.
how's that exchange rate? 10,000 to 100.
What do you mean?
As in, is that a good exchange rate, or is this the only place where you can?
It is
where you can
late
exchange?
game. It is late game because late game you get so much gil you don't know what to fucking do with it. So if you can go drop like 100,000 gil and get 1,000 GP, you can literally sit at the battle arena, which only takes 10 battle points to attempt the battle arena, and just keep going through it and going through it and going through it constantly. Because whenever you win the battle arena, you get battle points, which is just another currency that you could spend at the battle machine to unlock specific things. You can only get the W summon materia from this machine. You can only get one of the really good pieces of armor from this machine, and the most important part, which we will also talk about because we fucking forgot to talk about this last time, is you can only get Cloud's final limit breaker, Omni Slash, from this machine. You have to do the battle arena to obtain those items. Have to. 100%.
You forgot to talk about something?
When we did the Cloud character, I always explain their limit breakers, and I did not explain Cloud's limit breaker because remember we did Tifa's, we did Red 13s, we did Barrett's, yeah, we did Eris's. So I did not talk about Cloud's limit breaker. I know.
I must say, I'm disappointed you're fired. You are fired as my Final Fantasy VII guide. I'm firing you, and I will go find someone else. I'll get Tony to tell me about it. I'm sure he'll do just fine.
Yeah, with his chunk of the game, as he likes to say all the time that he's played.
Yeah, the part that we've already talked about because he stopped
far
playing
ago. Yeah, way long time ago. Anyways, so Cloud's Omni Slash, we'll go ahead and talk about it now, and then we'll have a video going for the viewers at home. But Cloud's Omni Slash is a really fucking cool thing. So he basically does this insane fucking movement where he just dashes around all over the place attacking for 9,999 damage all the way around. It's his final limit breaker, and he does it Omni Slash. I can't remember exactly how many hits it is, but it's like fucking 20 or something like that. It's fucking great. It's amazing. It's such a cool thing. And they actually redid it in the movie to move it with his new sword, which is really cool as well, which you haven't seen yet, so we'll wait off on that. But the original one, he just does these slashes. The movie one is a little bit different, and it's really cool as well. But yeah, so it's pretty fucking awesome. Once again, there will be a video up for the viewers to see that. But, and then just in case we didn't, I feel like we did. Yeah, we did. Because we had a video of Tifa's Limit Breaker. I think it was on episode 1. So yes, we did. So it wasn't necessarily talked about, but there was a video of Tifa's Limit Breaker because I remember recording that for Mandy, our amazing editor of the DFU. Okay. Anyways, so
Mandy's a rock star.
Yes, she is.
Everybody sends love to Mandy.
Boom. All right. So back at it. Anyway, so yeah, you need to save your money and come back here later because there are enemies in the game that can steal items off of you, and if you get your golden saucer ticket too early before you can kill these enemies quick enough, they can steal your lifetime ticket, and you will have to pay the 30,000 to get it again.
Ooh.
And they give you a quick little nod at that whenever you go to buy it off the lady. She goes, now if you lose it, you can't just come back and get another one for free. So that's them being like, yeah, if something happens, you're fucked. So be careful.
At least they warn you.
Yeah, just a little bit. Anyways, so we move into the golden saucer. We're moving into the welcome area. We get in there. Barrett's kind of throwing a hissy fit, and they kind of want to go looking for Sephiroth. Eris decides that if she acts like Barrett being upset isn't bothering her and kind of ignores it, so I guess she thinks he just wants attention. I don't know. Aerith is so like innocent. It's ridiculous. So she's like, well, we're gonna go have fun and we're gonna go play, right, Cloud? And Cloud's like not even saying anything about it, and so she keeps walking up to Barrett and get real close to him. She's like, Barrett, we're gonna go play, and he's like, fine, go play, whatever. Don't forget, we're looking for Sephiroth. Like he's all mad and stuff like that, and so he goes running off and then jumps down one of the little tubes by himself, and then goes to a different part because basically that's what it is. The welcome station. I guess I'm go ahead and look up a picture of that too. The welcome station for the Golden Saucer is basically like all these little tube holes that you could jump in, and they take you to the different branches of the golden saucer is what it does, which is pretty cool. Um, so that way you can kind of go where you want to go, which is once again pretty cool little thing that they did there.
Yeah.
So like I said, he ends up jumping into the tube all by himself, goes off, and then the rest of the team are sitting there. You get to choose one person to go with you. At this point in the game, if you've done everything the way I've explained it, you should have the option between Aerith, Tifa, and Red 13. If by some reason you decided to go dick around in the forest before you've gotten here, you might have ran into someone called the Mysterious Ninja. If you beat the Mysterious Ninja and she joined your team and you did it correctly, because it's very, very hard to do this because there's a lot of trick questions you have to answer to get her to join your team and not just steal your money and leave. If you manage to get this Mysterious Ninja to join your team, her name is Yuffie, and we haven't covered her yet because her story's a little deep, and we're going to cover her pretty close to right after this. Anyways, main point why I'm bringing this up is, once again, for those of you who are trying to get the dating scene that you want, remember, whoever you want to date is who you take with you to the Gold Saucer right now. That's who you talk to first. So if you want to date Tifa, you talk to Tifa. If you want to date Aerith, you talk to Aerith. If you want to date Yuffie, yes, Yuffie is a candidate. And now that I've officially said her name, something that I said last episode that I didn't disclose on, Yuffie is the only one that kisses you when you take her on the date. I told you that last time because you asked me if Tifa kissed you, and I said no, there's actually only one person that does. Yuffie is the only one. She kisses Cloud on the cheek. Anyways.
Okay.
So, you can also romance Yuffie. Choose which one of those you want to do before you just go picking, because whoever you pick first is going to get the infinity points. Even if you choose Tifa after you pick Aerith and you want to date Tifa, Aerith got the infinity points because you went to her first. Even if she doesn't go with you through the Gold Saucer, you talk to her first, she got the infinity points. So be careful on your choices here. Anyways, moving forward. Obviously, I grabbed Tifa, so we're going to continue on with Cloud and Tifa. So, you go to the Chocobo races and you'll run into this fellow, who I'm not the biggest fan of. His name is Dio, and he owns the Golden Saucer. Look at him in all of his glorious muscle and speedo, or thong, or whatever the fuck he's wearing there. Yeah, that's Dio, and not the biggest fan. You know, I mean, yeah, it's Dio, and he is all about himself too. By the way, he's constantly flexing the entire time he's talking to you, and we're not talking about like just normal flexing. We're talking like Hercules, arms up in the fucking air and shit like that. It's ridiculous, and about how good he is and how cool he is. But anyways, moving past that, he kind of gives you a little bit of information about Sephiroth, saying that basically Sephiroth was there and was talking about something called black materia. We've heard this before whenever I showed you the original page of the materia, where there were two of them that I said we would talk about later. We're still not going to talk about it yet, but we're getting close to it. But black materia. He doesn't say Sephiroth. He says a man in a black cape showed up here talking something about black materia. Anyways, so we move on. We go to the Wonder Square, and we hear this weird kind of like gambling music going on, and as soon as we get there, we get stopped by a fortune teller that wants to tell us our fortune. And we are now to our newest member, Kate Sith. Yes! Kate Sith is getting added to the team. He looks blubby. I love him. So Kate Sith is the kitty on top, and Mog is the big fat beast underneath him. Kate Sith is a very interesting character. His original, or how people tell you and this is a little joke that goes into some Final Fantasy lore for all you Final Fantasy fans who don't know this and would like to know this information. A lot of people make fun of the fact that his name should have been, and I think it's also pronounced in the Japanese version as Kitchi. And the reason why is because that is an actual, is it Scottish? Scottish, Ireland, something like that. It's a folklore of a little cat creature in their folklore, and that's where Final Fantasy pulled it from. So his original name was that, and then it transferred to the English version as Kate Sith. So instead of Kit She,
Interesting.
yeah, exactly. And that's an actual folklore of a little cat creature that was part of their folklore and shit, which is pretty awesome. So that is Kate Sith, which is pretty cool. Um, Mog is a living stuffed animal. That big fat guy, yeah, he
Really?
has a zipper on his back. Yes, he is a living stuffed animal. I won't go too far into about Kate Sith because that we'll get to that pretty soon here. His whole story. We'll get to that pretty soon here. But one thing that I will say, actually, we'll wait to the end of the DFU because he's pretty much like the only choice you have as far as fucking picking a character to know about. So we'll save the limit
Yeah.
breaker till then. But anyways, so because his limit breaker is fucking crazy. Anyway, so that is Kate Sith, our newest member to the team. He's awesome. His weapon is that microphone in his hand, by the way. Like how Cloud upgrades his swords, you just upgraded different color microphones. Yes, I know. It's fucking dumb, but that's his weapon. And the
Like,
best
were they
part,
trying to set him up as a bard class? Like,
right?
just sting at your enemies? What was this?
Right? And in his attack, Mog runs up and like fucking DK slams the enemy with his hands. So it's not even like, yeah, exactly. It's great. But
Okay, so yeah, he's a bard and he's getting his stuffed animal to fight for him. This is bizarre.
the
Okay,
the
keep
best
going.
part is that Square Enix knew how dumb this was, so they actually made a joke about themselves in the game. Back in Shinra headquarters, and I believe I said this in the video. If I didn't, I'll say this now. But there's a point where you're in one of the rooms and you can search these lockers. You open this locker and you see a megaphone in there. And Cloud pulls it out and he goes, "What's this? This has got to be useless. I have absolutely zero need for this," and puts it back in the locker and walks away. It's the only item you pick up and you don't get to obtain. And that's actually Kate Sith's final weapon. It's his strongest weapon in the game. And you can't get it until you get all the way back to the end of the game where you get to go to Midgar again. And you have Kate Sith
That's
on your team.
amazing.
It's fucking great, right? Anyways, so that is Kate Sith, our lovely little friend. I mean, once again, we have to remember they were on a time crunch with these characters. The original game was only supposed to be Cloud, Barrett, and Aerith. Everybody else got added in pretty much last second. Two of the characters for sure were not supposed to make the cut at all, and that's Yuffie and Vincent. They were not supposed to make the cut at all, and therefore they are the
Oh.
only two characters that are missable in the entire game. You can go through the entire game without ever having Yuffie and Vincent on your team.
Wow, I wonder if you're going to learn more about them in the remake or the remaster or whatever it
Well,
is. Remake.
Dirge of Cerberus, which is that other Final Fantasy game, is all about Vincent, which is great. So you get to hear his whole backstory and how all that actually ties into the game, because his backstory actually ties into the game very hardcore, which is going to kind of throw you for a mindfuck, in my opinion, whenever you see how much he actually ties into the main lore and know that he was a character that was made pretty much at the last second. Like, it's pretty crazy. And Yuffie, we get a little bit more of her story, somewhat in Dirge Cerberus, because there's a big fan fiction, I think Square Enix is kind of catering to it, of Yuffie and Vincent kind of being a thing. So she was kind of like hanging out with Vincent whenever the team split after Final Fantasy VII and everybody goes their ways, da-da-da-da-da, to fulfill their life or whatever. And then in Crisis Core, she's a little bit in Crisis Core too, as a younger, because that takes place before. So you get to see young Yuffie and kind of what she's all about and how she became what she is. So we get to see a little bit of them, but I think we will get a more in-depth story in the remake. Yes, that would make a lot more sense since they cut all that out before.
Mm-hmm.
So we get Kate Sith. The best part is that he says that he wants to be, or that he is a fortune teller. He's going to give you your fortune. So he gives you some dumb fortune of like fucking trusting others, others trusting you, some shit. I don't know. And then
Uh-huh.
Cloud's like, "Well, I don't buy from this, whatever." And he's like, "Wait. I'll give you another fortune. That one was a bad one. Let me do it again." And so he gives you another fortune. It's something about like your favorite color's blue or some shit. And Cloud's like, "Okay, yeah, I don't care. Forget it." And he's like, "Wait. Let me give you another fortune. All right, let me try this one more time." So he goes to give Cloud another fortune. And this one says, "What you pursue will be yours, but it will come at a great cost."
Ooh.
Which Cloud's like, "What's this supposed to mean?" And Kate's just like, "I don't know. I've never seen one like that, but I'm a fortune teller, and if I don't know what that's going to turn out to be, it will drive me insane. So I'm joining your party." And Tifa's like, "Wait,
Oh, that's
we're just
cool.
right?" And Tifa's like, "Wait, we're just gonna let him join the party?" And Cloud's like, "I never say he's gonna join the party." And then Kate's just like, "I don't care what you have to say. I'm joining the party." And then jumps inside a Cloud immediately. Done. Anyways, so
I don't care what you say. I'm
what you
joining
say,
the party.
I'm
I
joining the
like
party.
this guy.
Right?
This
Kate Sith is
cat,
great.
I suppose.
Great.
Why
Kate
the
Sith
hell
is
does the
great.
cat talk?
Huh?
Did they ever go into why the cat talks?
Oh yeah. Well, we'll get into that. Like I said, he is a very,
Okay.
very complex character. We'll get into that. It's probably an episode or two away, but we'll get into it. Um, What's cool though is that in that abridged series that I told you that I watch, Kate Sith is like got this crazy. He's just like this wacko kind of guy, but Mog is like morbid as shit. Like he just
Ooh.
like they'll say something. He's just like, I just dead inside and shit. Like it's fucking hilarious. It's so fucking funny. It's so good. It's so I kind of love that abridged series. The cool part that I do want to throw out here about his character right quick before we move on from it is that in the movie they give him a Scottish accent. Once again, paying
Mog or
homage.
Kate Sith?
Kate Sith. Once again, paying
Huh.
homage to the folklore where he comes from.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking
That's really
cool. It's
interesting.
pretty fucking cool. Or it's Irish. I don't know. It's one of them. I get those mixed up all the fucking time. Tony makes fun of me forever. I thought the fucking one chick from Brave, I can't remember. I thought she was Irish or Scottish. I think I said Irish, and he's like,
Who's
"That's just-"
Scottish?
yeah. So whatever she is, I said the wrong one. So I'm pretty sure he's Scottish, and his voice is Scottish because I'm probably wrong in saying Irish. I'm just gonna go ahead and guess on the side that I'm fucking up because that's normally where it's at. So we're gonna go with Scottish because that's the one that I normally never pick. Anyways, but yeah, so paying homage to that folklore again, which I thought was really really cool,
Yeah.
because him and Yuffie go back and forth all the time. Like they don't hate each other, but they fight all the time. There's like this one scene in the movie where like they're talking about something, and Sid, who you haven't met yet, it's like, shut up, this is man talk, and Yuffie's like, sexist, sexist, and then Kate's just like, Sheila, shut your mouth, or some shit like that, and it's hilarious. Like you hear him fucking talk, I'm like, yes, and then like you hear him during the Bahamut fight and shit. It's so great. It's so great. We'll get there. We'll get there at some point. I'm so excited for you to watch that movie. Anyways, moving on. So, Kate Sith joins us, and now we go to the battle arena. But what do we see at the bottom of the stairs? A Shinra soldier. Shinra is at the gold saucer. What are they doing here? And as Cloud goes to take a step forward, the Shinra soldier falls down dead. No one around him, no sword in him like President Shinra. What is going on? Cloud immediately runs up, looks down, and automatically thinks maybe it is Sephiroth. So takes off running to the battle arena. Whoever you have in your party follows, which at this point, one of them has to be Kate Sith because you just met him. The other one is who you chose.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I always choose Tifa. We're going with Tifa. So Cloud, Tifa, and Kate Sith run up the stairs all the way to the battle arena, get inside. Everybody in the battle arena is dead. Passed out on the floor, dead.
Ooh.
Yes. And Cloud's walking around, looking around, and Tifa goes, was this Sephiroth? And Cloud goes, no, these people were shot. Sephiroth would never use a gun.
Mm.
Then Cloud walks
So is it
up.
Shinra in general?
Well, their Shinra soldiers are dead too.
Yeah.
And regular
Huh.
people. So Cloud walks up to the counter, and the lady is just barely alive, and she dies telling him it was a man with a gun on his arm
Barrett?
who walked away all pissed off. Who has a gun on their arm? Who have we not seen this entire time?
What the fuck, Barrett?
Right, right.
Barrett? Where
So,
the hell are you? Come tell us some stuff.
so Dio shows up and immediately thinks that you guys are at fault. Automatically starts, blaming you guys because you're the only ones left alive in a room full of dead people, which makes sense.
Hmm.
So Cloud's like, wait, stop. This wasn't us. And then Kate Sith blurts out, run. This is not going to end well. And he ends up taking off running. Tifa follows suit. Cloud right behind him. As soon as you get into the actual battle arena, Dio claps his hands, and this robot comes out, and it stops Kate Sith from being able to walk through the door, and then these other two robots jump down. The battle arena is like just this circle pillar, so you can't move anywhere. You're basically trapped. These robots basically grab you and just like hold you still where you can't move. The battle arena floor opens up, and they jump down. That long-ass stem that goes all the way down in the desert of the mushroom, you fall down, somehow not die. You fall all the way down there into the desert, wake up. Not only does this man own a casino, he built a prison in the desert below the casino, and he can literally just sentence people to prison if he wants to. Like, he has total authority to do that.
Ooh.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. So now you're in the desert, and there's no way to get back up besides one way. Chocobo racing. If you can win in a chocobo race, you can win your freedom. First place wins their freedom. It's pretty great, right? It's pretty great. I love chocobos.
I just love how you're in a dungeon, it's a battle to the death, and they're like,
Chocobo
birds.
racing. Yeah.
like, that whole, get fucked, like that thing that you said earlier.
Yeah.
Chocobo racing. Not swords, not death, there's bodies everywhere, let's Let's run on some birds.
If
Like,
you
what the
run, and
hell?
it's not even like all your members have to do it. Just Cloud has to do it, and he sets the whole team free. So it's like, I'm going to let your entire team free, even though you murdered at least 20 of my staff. If you can win one chocobo race. That's the world I want to live in, Kelsey. That's the world I want to
No,
live
I'm
in.
absolutely with you. If I can like get out of any nefarious situation by jumping on the back of a fast bird that I've bred to be super fast and just scuttling off, like
Well,
sure.
you don't get to choose your bird at this point. You have to,
Oh.
yeah, you have to get given a bird to use and hope that you can win. Yeah. This chocobo race is probably the hardest one you'll face unless you're actually racing chocobos and breeding chocobos to make the ultimate chocobo, which you don't have to do. There are plenty of videos out there, and maybe I'll do a video on it. I'm not saying I will. Maybe I'll do a video on it. There is ways to cheat that process. I think I've talked about this already, but maybe not in full detail. There is a way to cheat that process where you actually do not have to race the chocobos. Just throwing that out
Yeah,
there.
you make the blue with the blue to get a
Yes.
green, and then you make the green with the blue to get a yellow or gold or something.
No. Basically, you make the mom and the dad fuck, and then you make the daughter and the dad fuck, and then you make the daughter and the son fuck in order to make the golden chocobo. I know, it's really gruesome when you think about it
Do
that
you
way.
have to say it
Yes.
like that?
Yes, I do.
You're morally required to make this
The
as
best part
incestuous
is-
as possible.
The best part is that's how I literally named my chocobo too. Until I get my golden chocobo. So the first
Ew!
chocobo I get is Ma, and the second chocobo I get is Pa, and so it's like Pa mated with the daughter or some shit like that. Then Pa mated with the son or whatever shit like that. It's great. Well, not with the son. You can't
Ew!
same sex the chocobo, but whatever.
Ah!
And then whenever I get my golden chocobo,
Problem.
I release all the incest ones back out into the wild, and I just keep Choco is what I call my golden chocobo. I call him Choco. Actually, I think it's a she. I think Choco's a she. I'm not sure. I think Choco is a she though. Oh well, doesn't matter.
I
Either
don't
way,
want
it's my
a female
S
chocobo in your
class
hands. Like,
Choco.
ugh.
I love her. She's great. Or him. I'm not sure. It's one or the other. But Choco, I love you. You've won me so
You
many
did
races.
a lot of horrible things to bring Choco into the, and
I
you did
did.
it on purpose. Like, you
I
did it.
did.
Ugh.
I had
Ugh.
that option, or I had another option, which would have took me like a month. I chose the hour
No.
option.
My major issue is not that you did this; it's that you intentionally named them incestuous names. Okay?
It was
Like,
so I wouldn't
ugh.
forget which one was which. The first two chocobos look identical, okay? They're not green. They're not fucking black. They're not fucking gold like the other three. They're literally yellow. They're both yellow, okay? And you have to feed only the female. You can only feed the female this entire process, which makes no
you
sense.
feed the dude, it'll end.
No,
It'll
it
screw
will fuck
everything
up.
up.
Yeah, it will fuck up the process.
He shoots bullets at that point, or
I guess.
blanks.
And that's even the best part is that whenever you go to mate the dad and the daughter, you feed the mom. You feed the mom, and that's one of the comments on one of the YouTube videos that I've seen where they talk about this thing. Is so you feed the mom's fat ass while she watches her fucking husband plow her daughter. I was like,
That
that's
is-
so funny.
And we are done with that conversation. Next. The fuck.
Oh man. Anyways, back down in Corel prison. So you walk forward, you immediately see Barrett, and in front of him is a guy dead on the ground with bullet holes. Cloud goes, Barrett, what's going on? Did you do this? Barrett goes, you should have stayed away. I told you to stay away. This is something that has to deal with me. You should have stayed away. Da 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 da. You know, all the classic Barrett stuff, right? Anyways, so moving on. So basically, you go walking around. This part, be careful, be on your toes, because this is where some of those thieving characters I was talking about are. They can steal potions and shit off of you. And if you don't kill them fast enough, they get away with it. They can steal money. They can steal pretty much anything. They can steal weapons. They can steal armor. It's fucking dumb. If it's in your inventory, they can steal it, basically. They can't steal material, though.
Jeez.
Anyways, so moving on. Yeah, they're dicks. And there's another enemy in here that literally is a mask. One side of the mask is white, the other side is red. If it dies and it falls on the red side, it does extreme explosion damage to a single character that could possibly kill that character. And if it lands on the
Holy
white
shit.
side, it does extreme healing to that character. So, yeah, just be careful. Anyways,
How do you control that while you're fighting them?
you don't. It's completely random. Yep.
So wait, you could actually, well, when you say a character dies, do you lose that character for the rest of the game?
No, you can bring the character back to life. There's
Oh,
a potion
okay.
called a Phoenix Down that you throw on them, and it brings them back to life. Or
Okay, that's acceptable.
there is magic throughout materia that you can use to revive people as well. Anyways,
Okay.
so you go walk around, you get into a house, and all of a sudden Barrett comes running in. He goes, "I told you to stop following me. What are you doing?" And what you notice is that this is the same house they were in whenever he was talking to Dane about the fact that Shinra was going to take over. So now you start to see that this broken piece that's called Corel Prison used to be North Corel, used to be Barrett's hometown. And then Cloud's like, "Just hold on a second, let's talk." At this point, Barrett grabs his gun, holds his gun hand up, and goes to shoot at you. And everybody like goes to block. And what you notice is that he shot and killed somebody that was behind you guys, possibly about to mug you. He's all like, "I didn't want any of you guys getting in this." And then at this point, whoever you didn't bring with you on the date now comes into the room, and you're all talking together. And now we get the full Barrett story. So, what happened was they signed off on the Mako deal. Shinra built the reactor. Barrett and Dane went out of town for a couple days. Barrett was for the Mako reactor because of the fact that it could end up making enough energy and make enough money to save his dying wife. Barrett had a dying wife. Dane
Okay.
didn't have an issue like that, so therefore he just wanted the coal, but they've been best friends since they were kids. So, they're out on business, they come back, and the entire town is on fire. What had happened is that someone attacked the Mako reactor, aka early avalanche.
Mm-hmm.
Shinra blamed it on the townsfolk, saying that it was because they knew for a fact Dane was against the reactor and possibly started a rebel group in order to try to get the coal back. And lit the entire town on fire and shot and killed everybody.
Jeez.
So they came back to that. So now Barrett's dead. Eleanor is dead, which is Dane's wife. Or Diane's wife. So as they're running to try to get there, all of a sudden these Shinra troops show up, and so is Scarlet, which is the fucking chick from Shinra. She starts laughing. She's like, "Shoot them." So Barrett and Diane go to run, but as they do that, Diane falls off a cliff. Barrett grabs him at the last second and says, "Don't you dare let go." Diane goes, "Don't worry, I won't." Barrett's like, we're getting back home together. We're going to save them." As he's saying that, the Shinra bullets are getting closer, and they blow off Barrett's arm. Which is how
Also,
Barrett and also Diane goes.
okay, so yeah, he shoots Barrett's arm, and that's the arm holding Dine.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So he lost his best friend,
Mm-hmm.
his best friend's wife, and his wife?
Correct.
All in one go.
All in one go. So, even worse, Barrett finds out through the grapevine that there was someone else who got the same, because he got a prosthetic arm. Then he decided to get a gun grafted onto his arm and got rid of his prosthetic arm. That was a choice that he made. Whenever he did that, he found out that there was someone else who came to him and also got the same surgery. So now we know Barrett wasn't the guy that was going around killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Instead, here we are. It was Dine, his best friend, longtime friend, Dine. Also got the gun grafted onto his arm to take revenge against Shinra. Well, he's lost his fucking mind. So basically, you go walking through, and you go walking through the. We jump back out of the vision here, and you get to pick. Barrett is with you for sure on your team. You can't change that, but you get to pick one other person. Once again, I always go Tifa, so Tifa. And we go to. You go out of the prison a little bit and to the right, and then you'll find Diane's little hideout. You walk up, and he's got two gigantic crosses. One's a little bit smaller than the other, and they're in the dirt, basically symbolizing that he lost his wife and his child. So he's freaking out, and he's all like, Barrett's freaking out like, "Dying, I can't believe you're actually alive." He's like, "I heard someone else got the surgery, and I thought it might have been you, but I wasn't sure." And Diane's like, "Well, that's a voice I haven't heard in a very, very long time." So they end up having this talk, and Diane's basically like, "Eleanor is begging me. I can hear her voice. She's begging me not to hate you." but I have to. And so he starts like shooting at Barrett, and Barrett's blocking it with his hand, his
Mhm.
metal hand. And he's like, "Stop! I don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you." He goes, "I have nothing to live for." Barrett then says, "She's still alive." And he's like, "Who's still alive?" He goes, "I went back to the village. She's still alive." He goes, "Eleanor's dead." He goes, "I'm not talking about Eleanor. I'm talking about Marlene." This is where Marlene came from. Marlene is
Holy
Dine's
shit! It wasn't
daughter.
actually Barrett's daughter.
Yep, I told you. Well, you get here.
I mean, I know you told me. I just didn't listen.
Told you. I mean, the story in this game is pretty fucking good. Like I said, everybody has their own arc, and it all ties together. So, Dine then's like, "There's too much blood on my hands. I can't care for Marlene anymore. If you want Marlene to stay alive, you're gonna have to kill me." And he's like, "What do you mean by that?" And he goes, "She misses her mother, right? I need to take her to her mother." And Barrett's like, "You can't be serious."
What the fuck,
Right?
Dine?
Yeah, Dine is fucked. So,
Dine needs some serious goddamn counseling. What the
right.
shit?
So Barrett's like, "You can't be serious." And so they get into a fight. So they're fighting. You win. Obviously, if you lose, game over. Then you have to fight him again. Anyways, there's no other way. You have to
Mhm.
win. So Dine then walks close to the edge and he's like, "Don't ever hurt her. Take care of her for me," and then jumps off the edge. And Barrett obviously is like, "No, what are you doing?" Freaks out, tries to stop him, but he doesn't make it there in time. And he's like, "You don't understand. My hands are just as red as yours." And
Mhm.
then he just like yells. And so the next scene, we're back at Corel Prison, and there's this man named Mr. Coates. Mr. Coates is kind of the guy that runs shit down there, but he's been recently scared to run shit because there's been this crazy maniac with a gun on his hand basically running shit. So once you show him that you killed Dine and he's no longer around because Dine gave you a necklace to give to Marlene, it was her mother's locket, then he tells you, "Okay, well, the only way to go up and win is to do a chocobo race." At which that point, he says you need a manager. And you hear someone saying, "Hey, I heard your story and I want to help." Which we get this lovely little lady, Scarlett, walking in. And
She seems cute.
yep, she got a little chocobo feather in her hair. She is a chocobo breeder, chocobo racer, and chocobo racer manager. And she has decided to help Cloud and teach him how to race chocobos in order for you to escape. Woot woot. So basically, you go through a little bit of just basically playing the chocobo racing thing. You win the chocobo race, and she goes, "Here is your freedom and a note from Dio partying you." And so you open the note. Dio's like, "Hey, glad you won the race. Sorry about what happened. I'm giving you a full pardon. You're welcome back to the Gold Saucer anytime. And to show that there's no hard feelings, because I was told that it wasn't actually you, that it was this dying character that you took care of. Show there's no hard feelings. I'm giving you my prize buggy," which is like this huge dune buggy that's got like 8 tires on each side that can actually move through desert and low rivers. So now you can move through certain parts of the map that you could not before. And that's how you
Ah.
get your next vehicle. And that is where we will end this episode. We got through the Barrett story, and we got a new character. Next, we head towards Gungonga
Wow.
Village, where we're going to get some deep story about Aerith and this so-called boyfriend that she talked about very briefly in the earlier episodes.
And how did you say that? Gongunga?
Gungonga. Gungonga.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. I
Cool.
love it. Gungonga. Yeah, it's great.
It sounds kind of like a bell is going off in the back of your mouth and you're
Right?
doing your best to kind of like make it
I'm
happen.
probably saying it wrong. Once again, people, please. We did not
Correct
have
him. No.
voice actors
Correct
back
him in the
then
comments. Correct him in the
for
comments.
this
In
game.
detail.
They can't correct me. No one knows how it's said. There were
I'm
no
pretty sure that
voices.
the fandom as a whole has probably come to an agreement on how to
Maybe.
say these
That's
things, and
probably
you
true.
wouldn't know because you're too busy playing the
See,
game to talk to people.
it's funny because I joined the Square Enix Discord before E3 so I could get like all the updates on when this shit was going to go down and everything like that, and it's been nothing but people talking about Final Fantasy VII, which has been great. I literally spent an entire 6 hours just talking to people about Final Fantasy VII in this Discord, which is awesome. The biggest fight that happens in there is the first time someone comes in there and says something about Aerith, but they spell it Eris. People start losing their shit, and then it's just a halfway split between people arguing whether it's Aerith or Eris. Those were fun days. Those were fun times. I was definitely on the
Okay.
Aerith side
Healthy
for sure.
fight.
Yes, yes. It's so much fun. So people still bitch and complain about what they're actually supposed to be called. So it still happens. I don't think the fandom has come together yet. But now we have voice actors, so we might be fucked at this point. Some people might be walking away salty from this remake, so
Well,
we might be
I
fucked.
assure you that Square Enix had a way they pronounced it at the very beginning.
Oh, for
They
sure.
didn't just write these names down and then just like look at each other in a boardroom and everybody like nod and then move on.
For sure. Which that was another cool part about the Square Enix thing. Whenever they brought on the actual guy who created the original Final Fantasy VII, also helped create this one. They played Sephiroth music, like making him sound like a bad guy. It was great. Like it was all dark, and everybody heard like Sephiroth, and then all of a sudden he comes walking out on stage, and everybody's like, "Oh my fucking god, Nomura's here!" Like everybody was fucking freaking out. It was great. So old, and like they only speak Japanese, so like you had to just sit here and watch them speak and then wait for the translator to tell you what the fuck they're saying. It's so great. It's just like you're just waiting. You're like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm excited to hear it. It's so funny. It's so good. So the last little bit I want to touch on. This is something that I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. Something that I forgot to say the last time when we were in Junon.
Mm.
When you save Priscilla and the old lady allows you to come sleep in the house, when you go to sleep, the voice actually talks to Cloud again. And he says,
That's
"Remember."
a huge thing to miss.
It's
What
not.
the
It's not.
crap?
It's not too crazy. It's not too crazy, but it does help. It does help the story a little bit. So he does say, "Hey, remember Nibelheim? There was a reason why you and Tifa couldn't be alone together. Why was that?" And Cloud says, "I don't know." It's like, maybe you should ask Tifa when you wake up. He's like, maybe I should. And he's like, okay, then wake up. And you wake up and you ask Tifa. You're like, hey, remember back at Nibelheim? Like, why was it that we were never like alone? Like, we didn't get a chance to like catch up. And she goes, before she goes to talk, all of a sudden you hear the Shinra parade stuff going on outside. She goes, something crazy's going on outside. We should go check that out. And just kind of like ends the conversation right there. And then she walks out of the house. So, yeah. Sprinkle a
Huh.
little bit of ooh in there.
And it definitely has nothing to do with like controlling the sexuality of young people and making sure that people that are too young don't start making
No,
babies, right?
no.
It's
Has
okay.
nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that.
Huh. Also, that's not
They weren't
something that
young
the
at that point.
Japanese and the Japanese in general don't care about that. That's
Mm-mm.
definitely an
No,
American
no.
puritanical thing.
Because Cloud at this point is 21, and Nibelheim thing was 15 years before, or 5 years before that. So that, yeah,
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
yeah,
So he's
from
16.
Japanese perspective in particular, plenty old enough to do whatever they want. Okay.
Correct. Yes, 16. And like I said, Tifa's 1 year older than Cloud, or 1 year younger, one or the other, something like that. We talked about it at some point. So yes.
Yeah.
So she's
You've
either
actually
17 or
waffled on
15.
that one a couple times.
Yeah, I fucking. She looks so much taller than Cloud. Cloud's so fucking short as a kid. It's ridiculous. So I thought she was older, and I feel like she's actually 1 year younger. I don't know. Who fucking knows? Anyways, the people who made the game know. But yes, so that's where we're at. So now to jump into Mr. Kate Sith here,
Since he's the only main
since
character I
he's
can
the
ask
only
about.
character that you can really ask about at this point. So I mean, unless you want a full story about Dio, I mean, we can really go into Dio and his luxurious muscles and tight speedo, and yeah, no, we can't. Anyways,
I could make you talk about him.
there's really actually no story to Dio.
You'll be way more uncomfortable than me. It'll be hilarious. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's move on to Kate Sith.
So, Kate Sith, like I said, Mog is his fat little friend there that he rides on, which remember I showed you those pictures of the little Moggles? This is an oversized, obese Moggle. Once again, he's stuffed animal. He's got a zipper on his back. He's brought to life by Kate Sith. I can't tell you why yet. We'll get into that a little bit later. Once again, I gave you the kind of the history of Kate Sith, where he kind of comes from and stuff like that. His life has been at the Gold Saucer. He is a fortune teller. Like I said, he uses his little microphone as of whatever. But one of the cool things, which I think I touched on in the video, I know I talked about the room. I don't know if I actually talked about Kate Sith being there. I think I did. Back at the Honeybee Inn when we had some questionable stuff go on when with Cloud and all these muscular men that I don't really want to talk about. Um, the first room, every room you walk up to, you can peek in the keyhole besides the last room because it's vacant and you can go in that one, or the last two rooms actually because you get to choose.
Yeah, I remember you talking to me about this a little bit.
So the first room, if you peek through the keyhole, Kate Sith is actually there. It's a very small version of him, and he's in like a bathtub by himself, but it's an empty bathtub. And he says something, and like this is supposed to be like some sex house type deal. And so he says something about grandma, and then if you phase over to the left, there's a grandma, a grandpa, and a grandson. So I have no idea what the fuck is going on here, and they've never
Hmm.
talked about it either on why Kate Sith is here, what the fuck is going on in this room. But like his music, that little gaming music I talked about, which we'll listen to at the beginning of next episode, so that way you can hear that music. Um, but literally like that's going on. Kate Sith is just jumping up and down. He's just over there. I don't know why he's there. It's just like a little haha, Kate Sith is here. I mean, I don't get it. I don't know. They've never talked about it. It's just one of the mysteries of Final Fantasy VII. He's just there. Little Kate
He's just
Sith.
in a whorehouse in a tub with his grandparents.
Yep. He's just there.
Huh.
Like I said,
That's weird.
there's a grandson there too. So I don't even know if it's Kate Sith's grandparents. So yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Don't know. But yeah, he's there. Let's see. Okay, so his limit breaker. The reason why Kate Sith's limit breaker is so cool is because he only has 2 levels. So everybody else has 7. He only has 2. The first one is called dice, and the second one is called slots. Now let me pull out the good old strategy guide here because there's a special way that these work, and I want to make sure I get this right for people who might want Kate Sith to be on their team. So let me see. Where's good old Kate Sithy at? Here we go. Okay, so limit break 1 dice. Kate Sith throws several dice on the ground, which he only throws 2 at the beginning, but every time you level up, as you get higher with the limit level, he gets more dice. And I think it ends with a total of 7 dice total. The resulting score determines how much damage is inflicted to a single enemy. This limit break grows over time, making it possible to cause larger amounts of damage. So if you throw
Okay.
7 dice down and they're all fucking 6s, like you do that damage to one single enemy. It's one of the most
Hmm.
broken fucking limit breakers in the game. There's speed runs done of Final Fantasy VII trying to see how fast you can get through the game, and Kate Sith is banned from the official speed runs because that's how broken his limit breaker is. You can't use Kate Sith in the speed runs.
Okay, I'm a little bit confused because we've got Cloud that does
He does
like
9,999 damage.
9,999 damage, and the most that Kate Sith can do is 42?
No, no, no. It's each number. It doesn't add. It's each number. So 6666666. It's each number.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Oh, I
But
was
that's not even the broken
multiplying
part.
them.
That's not even the broken part. His second limit breaker is slots. This is why he's banned. The gambling cat plays his luck against his own slot machine. There can be many different outcomes. As you might guess, the more effective outcomes are tougher to get. Occasionally, you will actually have a particular outcome forced on you. For example, the slots often stop on Mog Dance and Toy Soldier without the player actually having time to do anything. These various effects are: 3 stars give you Mog Dance. A tiny Mog appears and restores the party's HP and MP and status effects. Toy Soldier for 3 crowns. 6 toy soldiers appear and attack any enemy that are or any enemies that are present. 3 bars appear, and that's a summon. Kate Sith uses a random determined summon spell. 3 Mogs, the big fat guy, does transform. Kate Sith transforms into a giant version of himself. His teammates disappear from the battle for a moment, but return at the end of the battle. Only Kate Sith gains the experience from this battle, and the entire party's HP is reduced to 3333, while their MP is reduced to 333. Lucky Girl, which is 3 hearts. The party's hit percentage is 100, ensuring perfect attack ratios against all enemies. This is where we get to the last 2. This is why he's banned. First one plays against you. It's called Kate, Sith, and Bar equals death to all. This is the unlucky roll. The entire party will instantly be consumed by death, and you will get an instant game over. Don't worry, this is extremely rare, and it's if you get 2 parts of Kate Sith's face and then a bar for the last one. The last one is
Huh.
called Instant Victory, which is if you get all 3 parts of Kate Sith's face. All enemies present are instantly killed. This is difficult to get and never seems to be forced on the party. Boom. That is why
Interesting.
he is banned. For 2 limit breaks, he's a fucking strong character.
That's insanity.
Yeah, 2 limit
My
breaks.
gosh.
Remember, Cloud's Omni Slash. I mean, just to get Kate's second limit break, all you have to do is kill 88 enemies, which is not hard to do. That's it. Or not 88. It's 80. Yes, 80. It's 80 kills gets you the second limit break, and then to get you the third limit break, you have to use that first limit break 8 times. And then so on and so forth, so on and so forth until you get the final limit break of each character. That means you only have to kill 80 people with his fucking limit break, or not 80 people with his limit break, 80 people while he's present on the team, and you'll unlock his second limit break. And then you have slots.
From what you've told me, that doesn't sound hard.
Yeah, it's not. It's not at all. There's literally a little
Wow.
forest area next to Junon where 5 enemies spawn every single time you go in there, and they're little itty bitty enemies. So literally, fucking 2 battles, boom.
Okay.
Yeah, yep, and that's already 10.
So what is Kate Sith actually a cat?
That I can't go into yet.
Okay.
Just know there's some mystery behind it. That I cannot go into
Damn
yet.
it.
But there is some mystery
Okay.
behind it. Like I said, about 1 to 2 more episodes, and we should hopefully be there. But it is a
Okay.
main story plot, which is why I can't. If it wasn't main
No,
story, I would do it. But
that's
it's a
fair.
main story plot, which is why I can't get into the actual background of Kate Sith. Like I said, Mog we could talk about all day, which there really isn't that much to talk about.
How in the hell did Mog become a living stuffed animal? Why does he follow Kate's directions?
Kate Sith, he did it. I can't tell you that part. That's the only part I can't tell you about Mog is why he's alive. Kate Sith brought him to life, and he now is Kate Sith's little buddy, as you can see him riding ahead. I love Kate Sith. He's so great. I love
I'd
Kate
like to
Sith.
point out, you just told me you would tell me anything I wanted to know about Mog. I
And I
asked 2
lied.
questions, and you go, no.
And
Fuck you,
I
Chris.
lied. It's great. It's great. It's actually funny because for some of you that don't know, Bree streams and she has like her own following and stuff like that, which she does really well. If you haven't checked out her Twitch, go check it out. It's awesome. But she also has a Discord, which once again, if you go check out her Twitch, you can get the link to her Discord and join the Discord and talk to her and have fun and stuff like that. Once again, go check that out. But she recently made a pets thing in there because people wanted to be able to see pictures of her kitty. So
She
at
did?
which then I decided that I was going to post my pet in there. So I posted a picture of a baby chocobo. To which Bree then replied, "Don't make me ban you," because it's Final Fantasy VII stuff. To when then I said, "Okay, so I see. If it's not a cat picture, then I can't post it. So you must be racist." So then I was like, "Well, fine, ban me for this." And then I posted this picture of Lily B, Kate Sith, and Red 13 sleeping together. I love Kate Sith. He's so Lil B, Kate Sith. I love it.
That's so cute.
In the
I'm
movie,
currently scrolling through the pictures on Bree's channel, and it's fabulous.
Yep, yep. So, in the movie, you see Mog at the very beginning whenever they do like this whole flashback to the whole fight that happens in 7. But in the movie, Kate Sith actually rides on Red 13. Mog is not part of the movie. So he actually rides on Red 13. It's great.
Oh,
It's great. I love it.
that's interesting.
He's just sitting there riding on Red 13 the entire movie. It's so great. I love it. I love it. The movie's so good. We need to get there. Fuck! It's taking forever. This game's long.
I was so, well, that's your fault. You could just be like, "Here's the major plot point. Done. We could have done it
Nope,
in 30 minutes."
can't
But
do
you're
it.
like, "No, I love this.
It's got to
We're
be
going
done
to go
right.
into intense detail."
It's got to be done right. It's got to be done
It's your
right.
fault.
Oh
It's
well.
absolutely your fault.
I'll take it. I'm okay with that.
Well, Chris, I want to thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah.
Friends, that will wrap up our 6th class on our Final Fantasy VII semester. We are nowhere near done with this game from what I can guess. So please keep coming back. We will be releasing these again in the semester format. You should watch from beginning to end. And we'll randomly be not releasing Final Fantasy related ones in case something else really interesting comes up that we want to study, we want to learn. I am going to be begging people to teach me stuff. And eventually I need to listen to some other than Chris talk to me because,
True.
you know.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions, comments, follow-up, please jump in the comments below. Chris will respond to you. I'll probably respond to you. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to our channel. That would be hugely helpful. We're almost at 100 subscribers right now, and we really
Yes.
want to break that. And turn on the notifications so you know when to come to class. As always, please feel free to come join us on our Twitch links. Come follow us on Twitter and interact with us there. But in the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye, friends.